Massive day for Dragon Traveler fans. We're getting a brand new summon system. We know how to get time skip Medusa and she's gonna be absolutely free. And they finally fixed the God King clash. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. So they just dropped this on us and it looks like on April the 15th, we're going to have a maintenance where we will be getting an update. It's going to be one of those big updates. Not only are the Halkins going to come back into the rotation so you can get your golden clovers, but we're actually getting a brand new progression system and it's looking super whale heavy. We'll get our usual 300 diamonds in the mailbox after the maintenance that are worth about as much as my opinions, and we will get our brand new progression system called the Luminary Relics. To unlock this, you will need to clear the main story up to chapter 32, stage 80, and your server needs to be alive for at least 50 days, so very similar to the Temporal Rift. And the gameplay instructions go as follows. It states, once an SSR or higher quality Luminary star level is raised to at least purple 6 stars, they can now equip relics. And we're going to have this brand new summon shop that is going to be called the Sea Goddess's Vault. And I know, just from what you can see here, it looks like it's one of those generic AFK wheel events that are super whale heavy and super RNG dependent. And yes, that's exactly what this is. Fun stuff. If you didn't think you had enough gems to anything, well, now you are going to have even less gems. So it's going to be very interesting how they're going to balance bringing in these new summon systems with the amount of currency that we're actually getting. This is going to be super fun, I guess. If you're a whale, you're probably having a field day with this, right? You're like, hell yeah, I get to spend more money. In the Sea Goddess's Vault, you can actually win Luminary Relics as well as their upgrades and advanced materials, which are going to be these little corals. And for advanced materials, you actually feed more of these relics into the relics. If you still haven't caught on, there's something called Noble Phantasms in some of the wikis that we've had from the Taiwanese versions. Looks like they're not going to be called Noble Phantasms for copyright reasons, but we're going to be actually calling them relics for the global release. And as a token of their appreciation, guys, for everybody that has supported Dragon Traveler, we're going to be getting a specific relic after this update, and it's going to be a one-off reward for the 4 Saints White Tiger exclusive relic, the Tiger Talisman. We're also going to getting 20 Conch of Fate, which I believe is the summon currency, which is this that you're going to be seeing here on the screen, and then 5 random SR relics, and then 20 fine coral, which is what you use to actually level up the relics. Now, I'm not really sure what the White Tiger exclusive relic does, but the reason why I'm not hyped for it is because who in their right mind is actually using White Tiger currently? I mean, for the love of God, they gave us a whole 500+ day login event for White Tiger, and they only gave us 2 copies, which is only enough to get her to 1 purple star. And I don't think anybody's putting her on her wish list, right? So it sucks. I really do think they should have given us more White Tiger so that we could have leveled her up and actually have more use for her. But hey, you know, it is what it is. We'll be getting the Tiger Talisman, which is her exclusive equipment. But I'm pretty sure we can still use that with other characters. The fact that it's the exclusive equipment, I believe, is just like better suited for a specific unit, not that you cannot equip that into other units. Alongside the exclusive equipment that each character is going to have, mind you, not every character is going to have it at the start, but a lot of characters will have exclusive equipment. You will also have generic equipment that goes from, I believe, R to SR, so like the blue and purple. And you can equip that to anybody, and it's just like generic stats so that you can actually equip all of your units. There's also EX equipment, so yeah, we're gonna have a field day with that. And then it goes into a little bit more details of the actual relics that we're gonna get. We have, for example, Ifrit's little potion bottle, and it tells us a little bit of what they do, right? So, and what's actually interesting is that the skills that the relics actually give you, they scale up depending on how many stars your character has. So at base, they get like this status effect, which is whenever they're at 6 purple stars. And then whenever you get them to 6 red stars, they get another buff. And then getting them to diamond is not even enough anymore, guys. After you get them to Divinity Awakening level 3, they actually reach their maximum potential with their 3rd power up. It looks like for starters, we're going to get Ifrit, we're going to get Marilis item, the White Tiger relic that we just discussed, and it looks like Hades's exclusive relic as well. So typically, from what we have seen from the Taiwanese version, we're going to have 3 SSR pluses or SSR relics, and then we're going to have 1 EX relic, which is going to be more expensive. Now, they also come to mention like a bunch more of the relics that we're going to have. It's going to be a bunch of them, guys. So do not worry. Your problem is not going to be not having enough of the relics. It's going to actually be having the things to spend. So I actually did some research, and it looks like our good old boy Shen here that can see in the future has actually hooked us up with the Connect here, with actually giving us some more information. I'm going to be leaving a link to this video and Shen's channel, so you can go ahead and subscribe. He actually has a really cool table. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm not going to be showcasing that too much here in this video, but I highly do recommend that you go ahead and check out his video, because it actually tells you like a little bit of how much you should invest, when you should invest, and just his overall thoughts on how much gems you're going to spend. But this is actually looking like if you actually want to be getting one of these relics, you're going to have to fork down around 60k diamonds, which is absolutely insane. I don't even have that on my account right now. And if you're still doing golden clovers, yikes. Which actually is an interesting point, because I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't think golden clovers nowadays, after I've got 6 items out of it, I don't feel like the power boost that I get from my golden clover stuff really is pushing my account like forward as it did when we first started to get the items. So this might be the game's way of telling us to maybe transition from going from golden clovers into getting our relics. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see, because they would need to give a lot more compensation, pretty much double compensation, so that free-to-plays could keep up with actually doing either your relics or actually going for golden clovers, or even heck, still going for characters, right? Now keep in mind, these systems are still not in the game, so you know, we still have to see what they're gonna do for us, if we're gonna get better rewards or what's gonna happen. But yeah, just overall, go ahead and check Shen's video. He actually explained very well. This is actually what I wanted you guys to see. As you can see, it's going to be like a wheel type event. So you're essentially going to be spending these golden shells, so you can actually do summons, and it looks like it's very similar to the horn event, where you can do from 1 to 5 summons, and then that's going to be, you know, how many rotations you get. So as you can see, you can get like some summoning rewards for your clovers, which is this, like the red things. You can get a bunch of the corals, which corals are just different tiers on how you can actually level up your relics. It looks like we have some UR equipment that you could get, which is really good. And then the crowning jewel, or what you're actually trying to get out of this, are these golden cubes right here, or this EX cubes, however you want to call them, right? These are going to be used in a shop, which he shows us here in a second, which is this shop, so that you can actually purchase or select the actual relics that you want to get. So as you can see, there's Apollo's bow, we have Hades' thing, I believe this is for Seagrass, and then you have like the feather fan for Vermilion Bird that just came out, right? So you can see that you can actually select these, or like these are the new rotation of items that we gotten, and those require 5 of these cubes, right? So if we go back to his little table here, that again, go ahead and check out his video, because it's actually pretty complex for you to understand. For you to actually that amount of cubes, he says that it would take us like 9 rounds, and you could get like 7 cubes. You would go from like 4 cubes to 7 cubes, and that runs you for about 50k diamonds, right? Why? Because you also can only get 20 of these, looks like per rotation, right? And then each of them is 400 gems, so then multiply 400 times 20, and you're looking at pretty much 8k gems each rotation, right? So it's definitely pretty expensive, and we're not really sure how else we're going to be getting these shells. And it looks like the play here is to actually just buy this little chest, which is also 5 cubes. And then from there, you'll be able to like actually select which one you want. We can see that right here we have, you know, Marilis, Ifrits, White Tigers, Titanias, looks like Anubis, and, you know, just a bunch of other units, right? So you go ahead and get this chest, and then you can actually select the relic that you want. Now, how do you actually upgrade this relics? In order to upgrade the relics, you're going to have to feed them pretty much a lower tiered version of any kind of relic, right? Or any kind of starred relic. So here's an example for a 1-star basic relic. In order to level this up to 2-star, you need to feed it 2 1-star relics right here, right? And then you do that progressively until I believe 6-star is the max that you can get for a relic. And it probably has a cap depending on what rarity of a relic it is. So definitely very whale heavy event. This is the one we're actually going to get. It's the White Tiger. And I believe it comes at base at 3-star. I think all SSR gear comes at base at 3-star. But I could be wrong on that. So yeah, guys, just interesting stuff here coming in with the new event. Now, there is a chance, let me see if I can show you here. Shen actually had a little bit of luck, and he managed to get his equipment a little bit early. So here's an example, right? You can still get these cubes if you're lucky, right? This was actually Shen's first pull. He just did like 5 summons, and he ended up getting 2 of these little cubes, right? So there is a possibility for you to actually luck out and get a bunch of these just by doing summons. But if we're going just by like what you're guaranteed, at the end of the day, it's going to take you, I believe, 50 pulls to like guarantee yourself 1 cube. Kind of what the estimations that we're going for as a free-to-play, but you can absolutely luck out and actually get the cubes themselves just from doing rolls, right? We will most likely be getting some shells just by doing like daily stuff, which is probably this icon right here that he doesn't really show. So probably just by like logging in, we'll get a couple of the shells so we can do some summons. But this is definitely looking like one of those events where we might want to save up how many shells we have, and it might be like a clover event, right? Where maybe the first time it comes out, maybe you don't get anything, right? But you just buy your 20 shells, and then maybe you get a boost on power for those. And then maybe you do the first event, so you can get a bunch of like the Noble Phantasms, even if they're the generic ones, just so you can get some account level up. And then after that, it's probably just a saving game of potentially a couple of cycles of this, so that once we actually go in, you can actually progress. Let me see if I can show you this better. We can actually progress through this little timeline, and we can actually maximize the amount of cubes that we're getting, how many summons we're getting refunded, and then how many gems we're going to get refunded, right? So stuff to think about, guys. I would love to hear out if any of you guys have played the Taiwanese version and maybe know a little bit more than me. Definitely leave it down in the comments and let me know if you're excited for this new event. And it looks like we're also getting some reruns for the 6-Armed Serpent, Marilist, the Demi-Leech Gulivig. Looks like we'll also have Brynhild, we'll also have Ophelia the Bishop, and we're also going to have Faust. And for Faust, we're going to be getting her Shining Music skin, which is very cool. But to be honest, these are all bait. You're only doing this if you're a whale and you want to really get the skins, right? Those units, they're nothing to write home about. So, you know, we can just pretty much say that they're a skip. We're also getting the time skip Medusa. So everybody who has been leveling up their Gorgon, this is going to be amazing. To actually get this Medusa, the only thing you're going to do, it's going to have to be to clear main story 3-16. And for your character to be at least 3 days old, and you'll be getting SSR plus Medusa that you can actually level up with the other Medusa. So hopefully you guys have not been sleeping on your Medusas. My current Medusa is actually 6 red star, and I'm working on getting her to diamond. So I should be able to get pretty much a max SSR plus Medusa, and I believe she is pretty busted, guys. So we're actually going to get her, and we'll get her absolutely for free. We just need to log in, guys. Really cool. They seem to have also patched something on Champion Expedition where the boss would just get completely obliterated by Vermilion Bird. Looks like that's patched. And they also did like some just general balancing. Some things to note is that we'll have more stellar power now. I don't think anybody's maxed that out. We're going to be getting some more level peaks if anybody's there. Some special offers will be reclaimed, and some of the important things is that it looks like God King Clash will actually get some balancing adjustments so that you know, you don't get paired up with like the same enemy as much. Just some boosts, so hopefully we'll be able to get in there. I know myself, you only get the top 8 players to go into the God King Clash, so you can actually into the battle. I'm always number 9, guys. I'm always like 1 off from actually getting there. Hopefully with this change, I'll be able to go to push forward and be the number 8, and I can actually go in there. But yes, guys, I don't think we've gotten like this much exciting news in a good while for Dragon Traveler, so definitely very exciting. Yeah, anyway, see you on the 15th. See ya.